Hey there, welcome back, and this is Mr. Ray. Hi, I'm Mr. Ray. And what we're going to do is we are going to factor trinomials when a is greater than 1. We've done this already, so this is actually method 2, and most people would consider this the quickest way, or the fastest method, or the easiest path, whatever you want to call it. So I'm excited about that. Let's get started, and we're going to look at these three quadratics. We have 3x squared minus 7x plus 2, 9x squared plus 26x minus 3, 12x squared minus 7x minus 10. This is from the previous video I did about this. Notice that all the a coefficients, they're greater than 1. A is greater than 1. So we're going to use the fastest method possible, starting with number 1, and then going to number 2, and then going to number 3. And I'm going to have a fourth problem that's dealing with the problem with using this method. There's only one problem with using this method. And I'll tell you right now, it's if you don't factor out a number, if you can. When we look at these three trinomials, we cannot factor out a number first. So we're okay. I'll get to that problem later. But first, let's start with the first quadratic. Okay, so this is the simplest one, right? Now, in this method, what you're going to do first, so let's call this step 1, is you're going to take the a times the c and then get rid of the a, okay? So my first step would be, I'm going to write that out, a times c. What is a times c? 6. I'm going to put that right there, okay? Now, step 2 is to get rid of the a. If I do those two things, I'm going to get x squared minus 7x plus 6. Okay, now you're thinking that's kind of odd, but just follow me on this. The next step, step 3, is to factor. We're simply going to factor what we have. And this is going to equal x, and we have an x, 2 negatives, because we have a negative here and a positive here. So a negative here and a positive here gives us 2 negatives, and we want to know what adds up to 7 for the factors of 6. Of course, that's 6, and that's a 1. Okay, next, I'm going to divide both these constant numbers. Divide constants, okay? Divide constants. A constant is a number without a variable by a. That's odd, but we're going to do it anyways. Divide by 3, okay? That's going to equal x minus 2 times x minus 1 over 3. Now, what I'm going to do for this one, I don't want a 1/3. I'm going to multiply that one by 3. Okay, the second polynomial by 3. When I do that, I get x minus 2 times 3x minus 1. And that is the answer. This is a good way if you don't really want to think too much about outside times outside or think too much about the factors. You just want a clear, straightforward method. Okay? Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to multiply a times c and get rid of the a. A times c is negative 27. So I'm going to put that negative 27 there. Multiply these two numbers. Next, factor. That's going to equal x and an x. And you're going to have a negative 20, positive 27, right? And a negative 1. Okay, great. Now, what do I do next? Next, I divide those constants by a. Divide by 9. Okay, so I'm going to get x plus 3 times x minus 1 over 9. Now what I want to do is I want to multiply by 9 here, so I don't have a fraction. X plus 3 times 9x minus 1. Okay? Does that work? Well, I get 9x squared. I'm going to get a outside times outside. If I think about outside times outside to check, outside times outside, we have a negative x. Okay, we have a negative x plus inside times inside plus 27x. Does that equal the middle term, b? Sure does. We're okay. Let's take a look at another example of this. Okay, we have 12x squared minus 7x minus 10. Do you think you could do this on your own? If you can, or I'd like you to try. Go ahead and try, stop the video, and come right back. I'll be right here. Hey, welcome back. So first of all, we're going to get rid of the a and multiply that a that we got rid of times the c. There we go. That's the first step. Okay, now we need to factor. Ooh, this is a little bit of a difficult one to factor. We need a difference of 7 for the factors of 120. We did this before, if you remember. So that would be 8 times 15. There's a lot of factors of 120. 2 times 60, 3 times 40, 5, yeah. If we can go on and on and on and on with the factors. There's a lot of factors here. But the 8 and the 15 has a difference of 7. So I'm going to have an 8 and I'm going to have a 15. Make the 15 negative because that matches the middle term. And I'm going to have the 8 positive. Okay. Now, we're going to take that a. We're going to take that a and divide it into the constants. Okay. So when I do that, I get x minus 5, right? I get x minus 5 over 4 times x plus 2 over 3. Okay, now what do I want to do? I'm going to multiply times 4 here. That's going to turn into 4x minus 5. And this is going to turn into 3x plus 2. Does that work? Let's check. The way that I check is I go outside times outside. That's going to be 8x plus inside times inside plus negative 15x. Does that equal the middle term? It sure does. It works. Now, I'm going to give you another one, but the next one I'm going to give you is going to show when this doesn't work well if you forget a first step. Okay, this is a good problem because it shows that there's always something you have to look for first, which I haven't been showing. You always want to look to see if you can factor out a number first. Can you factor out a number out of this? Yes, we can factor out a 3, but what if we didn't see that and we just kept on going with this method that I just showed you? Well, the first step is going to be x squared minus 3x minus 56, okay? Now, when we do that, we want to think about factoring. We're going to get an x and an x. 2 factors of 56 with the difference of 3. Well, that's going to be 9 and 6. 9 is going to be negative. The bigger number matches that sign. 6 is going to be positive. Okay, we now divide by a. So we're going to have x plus 1 over 3 times x minus 1 over 2. Okay, now we're going to multiply 3x plus 1 times 2x minus 1. Does that give us that? No, because we forgot to do something. In this method, you have to remember to factor out a number first. So this works, but there's supposed to be a 3. We forgot to do that. So what we should have done is we should take 18x squared minus 3x minus 3, factor out the 3 first. You get a 6x squared minus an x minus a 1. Okay? Now, when you do that, this definitely becomes using that method. Well, let's just use the method. I'm going to have a 3, okay? And I'm going to think about 6x squared minus x minus 1, okay? Well, I have x squared minus x minus 6. Okay, well, I have x minus 3 times x plus 2. Okay, now I'm going to divide by the a, which is 6. X minus 3 over 6 times x plus 2 over 6. Okay, I'm going to get an x minus 1 over 2 and an x plus 1 over 3. Okay, that's going to give me 2x minus 1 and a 3x plus 1. Using that method, put that there. So we have, therefore, that equals 3 times 2x minus 1 times 3x plus 1. Oh, okay. Well, that was a little bit of a long method for that. My recommendation, always factor out a number first when you can factor. Simplify first. That's the rule in math. But if you take a look at this in the middle, 6x squared minus x minus 1. Is there another way to have done that? 6x squared minus x minus 1. So let's just use a different method here. The other method from the previous video. Okay, I have 6x squared minus x minus 1. I have 2 times 3. 6 times 1 are the factors of a, and 1 times 1 are the factors of c. So what would give me a difference of 1? Well, it would be 3 times 1 and a 2 times 1, right? Well, that would mean I have to have the 3 on the outside and the 1 on the outside. 2 would have to be in the inside and the 1 would be in the inside. We're going to have an x and we're going to have an x. And what I want here is I want that negative to be, I want this one to be negative and this one to be positive, because outside times outside, 3x times a negative 1 is negative 3x. Plus inside times inside is going to give me that negative 1 in the middle. Check. And so again, going back, the answer to this long problem is that, okay? That was the answer to factoring 18x squared minus 3x minus 3, okay? Okay. Now, if you have any problems or any questions about anything I've done, please leave me a comment. Again, my name is Mr. Ray. I'm always happy to help. And I hope you have an easier time with your homework. Again, if you have any problems, let me know. Please like and subscribe if this is helpful, and I'll have a lot more videos coming up. And the next topic is probably going to be completing the square. And then after that, we might do a little bit of graphing and then solving these, okay? So we are going somewhere with this video series. Thank you.